Hello and welcome to the Simply Cup, week number 5, and this week is a bit of a special one with 15 maps to start the year off with a bang. It is the first edition of 2021. Let's see how it will go. Hopefully all the maps are going to be good. Looks like a bit of a tough ramp here, so that's not a good sign to start off, but who knows? It's a bit of fun. If you don't know how this works, it's going to be, well, usually 10 maps. As I said, this week there is 15, and it is played through 3 rounds on each map, and then the winner is played once we go through all the maps. And there is 1 minute warm-up, quite a few people getting through, which is good to see, and we are now live for round number 1. Let's go. We have 33 players, and not as many this week, unfortunately. Remember, it is on at 11 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time every Saturday. You can always look that on Google and it'll come up what that is. Alright, let's watch Hent to start off here, as someone does bonk into the checkpoint. That's fantastic. Speaking of bonking, Hent does hit the side there, unfortunately, as well as Splitia. Looks like a pretty technical map. A bit of a mixed vibe though, as Splitia gets it really well, gets really tight to the wall. I thought it was going to bonk, but maybe let's have a look at tourists if I can find them as we go through a multi-section, as Swen, I think it is, gets straight into first, but tourist with the more speed and gets a first right there. Well done to him. So let's have a look at that multi design of this track here. So you can go on the inside actually, or the outside, and gain a bit more speed. I think the inside though will be better. It is a bit of a fair distance, so let's see if people will find that in time, as a few people are failing this risky jump as well. You can go safe if you can't make it, but Paul the Australian picking up a 4th there, so let's watch him with this fantastic car skin. I didn't actually announce that this week, once again, it is on random maps. I have still been very unorganized to do maybe some different things with that, so it is just some random maps this week. Alright, let's see if Pomo will make it. Has a little bit of low speed, as Pirzl does manage to crawl across, which I thought he wouldn't there. But let's see how many people do realize the risky rat, as Paul slams his forehead into the wall trying to go for it, or into the yep tree. And we have a tourist grenade battle, probably maybe already forming a top position situation here on this first map. But we have a very long road ahead of us, so nothing is set in stone just yet. As Eddie and Alicia and Major come through, I think Major is in last there, but he does fail the last jump, so tries the safe route, will unfortunately not be able to finish. Yes, you guys can join still if you feel like. Hello, Levon. Right, can we get the overview? Nope, there's always someone AFK at the start block. Alright, let's have a look at Eddie now. Has picked up a few lower positions, but doing alright to start off here, as someone bonks into the tunnel once again, getting a few catastrophe or some crashes in there. And we see Eddie casually going through about 20 places more, and someone lags into the infinity and beyond. That's a fantastic sight. Eddie struggling on the ice a little bit, but I think he does know to go the inside strat here and gains a few positions off of that. That's good for him. Let's maybe see if we can jump to someone further up. As Grenadi picks up another win here, that's really good for him. Neo, Sven, Paul, Alex, Pirzl, and Tourist a bit further down that time, but that's still fine. And Thomas also struggling this particular round. So we do have a few late joiners, which is fine, as Major and Hent are struggling on this jump over here. So that is map number 1. Grenadi reaching out into the first spot, and Sven in second. So looks like we have a bit of a reactor shenanigan maps here. This could possibly be a non-respawnable one, so watch out. So let's have a look at someone. Let's have a look at Shield to start off here. But I tried getting a few different maps this week, as we had a lot of tech last time around. But let's see if Shield has his thrusters on to start off here. As we have a sideways jump, Shield getting it nearly, and he's stuck. Oh no, I might have to skip this. I think a lot of people are going to get stuck at the start, but a lot of people have made it through, which is good. Then we have a massive red booster jump, can entirely overjump it. That is fantastic to see. And we have a massive wall up to top as Shield goes into the bushes. And we will see if the end is possible. Alright, let's skip this map. I wasn't sure if this one was going to be possible. I think this is going to be overall too hard. So we will have 14 maps this week. I was a bit concerned about this one, but I'm like, it looks like a decent map if it is respawnable. But of course it isn't. People are too lazy when making maps. I'm disappointed. But we will go on to what looks like a full speed map here. So who is the best full speed player? I think only about 2 people would have finished on that map, so I rather, like, it can have non-respawnable maps in the comp, but if only like 2 people are going to finish, I kind of prefer to maybe skip it then. But that is what happens when we do pick up the risky random maps. So let's watch Nirdum as he does bonk into the first corner. That is quite epic, but does find the route here. So a bit of a transitional jump and someone launching off the light there. So it looks like quite a tough full speed map here. Again, a transitional one. Oh my god. Transitional maps. Oh my god. We're going to probably have to skip this one as well. Look, we might have 10 maps this week by the sounds of this. I'm probably going to have to download 15 maps at this rate every week and then just play through the ones which are playable. There's only 3 people making it. I don't know, I feel like this one is a lot more doable once you learn it. If people watch the GPS, I think this one could definitely be possible. As we do have a finish line there. I think I might keep it. Good luck. So let's have a look at maybe a Shield, as we didn't get to see him on the last map in the live round. So does nail the first jump, has to carry the speed through. He gets it really well there and will be in 3rd position, but slightly jumps to the side with a bollard in the middle there, so does not want to hit that. Let's have a look at Tourist now in 2nd position. That's really good for him. Nico rage quitting because he doesn't like the maps. That is fair enough. And it is a beautiful battle for this first place here. Tourist trying some cheeky little speed slides. Grenade not opting for that, but has cost him on this downhill by the looks of it, and it will be a switch around. But Grenade gets the turnover a little bit better, but it's a little bit too late, and that is a fantastic battle. Even Sven, which I didn't see, right behind him. Good race. Wow. As I said, I thought this one would be not too bad. So maybe for some of the lower players, it might be a little bit more difficult. But a few of them getting through now. This map looks fun as fuck. Yeah, this map looks really good. It just might be slightly tough to learn within a few rounds, unfortunately. So not everyone finishing there. Pizzle, unfortunately, I think may have got a bad respawn at the start. Justin getting angry as he didn't finish there. So let's see if I can find him here. And let's see what he did wrong. Let's for a bit of a wider line there. Is he going to commit? He is. I think that's the wrong move to do. And he is gone once again. Kip, however, does have a bit more speed and will not make it. That is unfortunate for him. So what about Tourist? As he does fall off the map, drops down to probably a 10th position there, and lots of people failing now. But let's have a look at the battle at the front. It looks like Grenade is having a field day as he has lost a few of his opponents here. But Christian, look at him go. He's on a really good time here and does pick up a 1st place with Lavon, Thomas, Kanubu, and Bubble right behind And then absolutely no one else in sight. So where is everyone? Looks like a lot of people stuck on that first checkpoint, but a few people coming through now with 10 seconds to go. So a bit of a tough one here. Definitely have to look out for that first corner. As it is now Pormal, and I think it was Neardom to fail to finish there. So they do drop down quite a lot of positions. So speaking of Pormal, let's go have a look at him again. And let's see if he can do it this time. Does get a lot better speed and will definitely nail it now. And we look at this, a lot of people getting it. So taking just a few extra rounds to hit, but Paul does get an unfortunate clip. Does correct it though, which is good for him. How about Sven? Back in around about 8th position, I think. And is slightly behind the bigger pack. Levon though, slightly joined late and is out in front currently. But we're having a nice battle between Christian and Levon. Who is going to take it? I think Levon has a bit more speed, but Christian is far enough ahead and does pick up another win. That's really good from him. And Turris, Sven, Gadabu, Alex, and the second Sven to round off the top 8. So not as many people failing that first jump there. I think it was not too bad of a decision to continue this one. Great full speed map other than that very difficult start. So a bit of a mix-up in the leaderboard as Bowman, I think, rage quits. That is not good for him. And we do have Grenade still out in front with the better first round there. But people complain about having a hard map. Look at this. This is the easier map for everyone. Alright. Easier map redemption, boys. Good luck. Who is their best grass player? Let's have a look at maybe someone further down for the warm-up here. Let's have a look at Witch on 100 points and see what he is doing. In a skin which I don't recognize. Oh no, Estonia. Didn't recognize the emblem at the back. But is out in top 10 at the moment. That's quite good. But a few players getting in a lot more tight as we do have a bit of a freeze. But we're back. Christian doing really well on this warm-up here. So maybe Christian one to look out for further down. And then we do have already the finish line near him. Tourists right behind him. So this will be a beautiful little quick map. Is anyone going to go the really risky inside line? There is a bit of a grip, as you can see on this grey block. And Sven trying it there, that's really good from him. Also, Witch, oh, look at him go! Nearly gets it all the way. That's a valiant try right there. Agron opting for a bit of a slide, could pay off. But let's see if people will take the risk for the biscuit on this first round, ladies and gentlemen. So, who shall we watch? Let's have a look at Mr. Spider for this one. How many people on? 35. Not too bad, not too bad. Definitely a quieter week, but nothing wrong with that. As it looks like Map is in front. Neardom doing quite well after a good live round, but does unfortunately for Spider hit on that checkpoint. So Matt's still out in front. Tourist getting a bit better of a second turn, and I don't think it's enough though. Oh, it is enough, and gets overtaken by Alex as well from Maps there. Zemus, Neo, Agron, and Ali also doing very well. Spectator curse? Yeah, blame me. Alright, let's have a look at maybe Maps, as he did quite well last round. Let's see what he's opting for in the start here. I think he just went for the safe grass bar, as Grenade gets a really quick grip there and goes hella tight, so this could be already over and a win for him. By him getting a little bit of a nice speed pickup there as Turris rocks through, and it will be Grenade with a 22.4. That's quite fast. Turris, Jeep, Jackson, Kip, Matt, and Neo. So lots of people being able to finish this one, which is nice to see. So Turris now has moved up because of this, but still a nice battle at the top. What about Mr. Thomas? How's he doing Well, this one gets a bit of a slower round this time, opting for the grip on the side there, but is finding himself in 20th position, which is quite far behind. Shield trying the risky strat, as well as someone else there. But Grenade and... oh, I thought it was Turris once again having a beautiful battle, but it was Neo having a good battle. But I'm not sure if he lost the gear because Grenade gained 0.1 by the end there. And it is Ali and GP doing really well on this one. Some people I haven't seen so far. Justin, Turris, Getaboot, and Map. P7 to P17, yeah, that was quite a tough one. But we also have yet another really short map here, but multi-style. So, who is good at the quick maps here? Good thing about these 20-second maps is, with the 1-minute warm-up, you get a bit of extra time to see the map and practice it. So let's have a look at Wub Wub here. If he is playing, it is just a bit of lag. Goes a bit high to start off there, but does find it just afterwards. A few people falling off the top there, but I'm sure they will see that afterwards. That is not right. I was about to say maybe there's a cut there, but I think there was a checkpoint. Oh, hang on, is there a checkpoint? There is a checkpoint, okay. I saw the reactor one, I'm like, maybe there isn't. But looks like a very quick and easy one. Who can get the really tight drifts and get that last one? I think we might see a few position changes in that last line there. So, good map here. Let's have a look at King Tom here. See how he is doing. That's a good start from him. If he can control this booster uphill, which is a bit tough because you don't want to hit too early or drift too early, as you will bonk there. But let's continue watching Tom here for the first round. So who will strive on this really quick map, going hella tight as someone does yeet off to the sky there. But it looks like, I think it is near them, once again doing really well, but Grenade gets a bit of extra speed. I think Grenade picks up another win there. Christian doing really well, Turris, Ben, Thomas, Alex, Levon. Trying off the next few places. So, very tight one here. The top 5, Olin Kadaboo, doing really well there. And that is also good for Thomas, picking up 100 behind my webcam. Wubub, for some reason, going the wrong way. And wasting some valuable points he could have picked up. Right, let's have a look at Zemus here in a 10th spot so far. Gets a pretty clean slide, good speed, and then a good dirt, but does have to release a little bit as someone gets a bit of airtime there. And Turris, I think, clipped. That is really not good for him. It was Turris, gets only 40 points. That's really good for Grenade. Even Kadaboo picking up 90 points compared to 40. Sven picking up a win there with only a 14.8. I think that's quite fast. And Justin also doing quite well. So let's have a look at maybe Nicholas for this start here, as he does find himself in first. That's really good for him. Does drop slightly behind on the grass, but gets the dirt really well. But will pick up airtime. That's not what you want. And what about Grenade out the front? Is Levon, Turris, Neodum, and Alex to round off top 5. So similar players picking it up, other than Turris's one mistake there. But a very quick and easy map. That was kind of nice to watch because it's already over. So Grenade is now 100 points ahead. That was a really good round for him. I think he won 3 out of 3. So that is going to put him in a bit of a valuable spot for the following few rounds here. Maybe pick up a few only top 10s compared to the very top positions. But we are in a beautiful little box here. So let's watch Mr. GP warm up here. Hopefully this is a fairly easy map. Looks like a bit of a cross tech and grass. So GP missing that first corner. That's fine. Hopefully drifts. Gets it slightly late though. So a few people definitely finding more speed. Bit of a jump, but very easy. GP slightly sliding out there, so tries a respawn, gets it really well, so this will be a close one, I think, but does miss that checkpoint, unfortunately. So let's watch King Tom here. The finals part, a bit of a longer map with 44 seconds, but looks like a decent one. Let's have a look at Ali for this first round. Thanks for the follow, I appreciate it.
That's pretty good.
If you're new on YouTube, why not subscribe? It's free. You can always unsubscribe when you feel like it. Hopefully not though. And if you're on Twitch, why not follow? That is also free. It all helps out. But back to the round, Ali is finding himself in about 15th to 20th here with a few wider drifts. And you can see those top players really striving to pick up a little bit of extra pace. So Tourist also finding a bit of maybe a slower learner for this grass start, but is following through with a bit of extra pace as Levon gets a 36x. That's quite good. Needham also picking up a very good time. Sven, Thomas, Shield, Kip, and Grenade to round off the top 8. So Tourist only actually losing 18 points, which isn't too bad. Christian only picking up 40 points that round, which isn't great for him. So let's have a look at someone else this time. Let's have a look at Pizzle. It is quite early for the Americans, so I appreciate them playing. So Pizzle does have to opt for an unfortunate respawn. That will cost him a lot of points. Mapped getting a really nice drift there, but a few people throwing through as Pommel does crash into that edge there. Mapped getting a bit of an earlier drift. I think someone must have respawned at this first, or the last checkpoint. Same to that guy. Hopefully there's not too many maps where that's a problem, as that is still an issue with club server, where if you respawn before the first checkpoint, you go back to the finish line for whatever reason, and for some reason they haven't fixed it. But back to the match, Levon is getting another first place there with a 36-0 this time. Grenade nowhere to be seen behind him, and Sven, Turo, Alec doing quite well there. So Grenade now pushing 130-ish points ahead, but there is one more round on here. So let's have a look at Alex this time. See how he can get the drifts. Gets a early one after a bit of a wonky start. Goes over the slower grass to slow down for that corner. Good tactic, but does find himself a little bit behind here. So maybe let's have a look at a top position of Tourist dropping into the first position, but does bonk into the poles, unfortunately getting a too fast into that grass section as Levon finds himself picking up a 3 out of 3 win, I think, here. And gets a 35x now. That's quite fast. Grenade's 36.4, also a good time. And then Tourist second behind. So that was a really, really good one for Levon, who has joined late, is roughly 600 points behind, so a little bit of work to do. Still a lot of maps though. But once again, Grenade finding himself out in first. I'm hoping my brother might come home later and I have to let him in. So if I do quickly AFK, that would be why. But I haven't got a message from him yet, so that's good. But it looks like we have a bit of a nighttime theme here. If I can get to cam 7. I hate how you can't do a camera 7 straight off the bat, like the old games. We have a spooky nighttime theme map. Actually kind of good looking. I like the look of this, but could have a few issues with respawns. Although checkpoints are in what looks to be pretty good position, so hopefully people can recover. As we watch Splatia to start off the warm-up. Into a follow as well. So, sausage tech mix by the looks of this. Not sure if there's going to be any reactor or anything. Spatier getting that really well, but there is a hole to watch out for. Watch out for holes. Warning. So, Grenadi looking like he's finished this map very quickly, as it does seem to be only a 20-30 second map once again. So, a few transitional jumps, a few tech corners, and the sausage jumps to get through to the next part of the map. Who will strive on this one? Let's have a look at Grenadi to watch this first round. See if he can pick up another win here. As Spatier thinks he was doing it for the spectators, of course. But Grenadi finding himself quite out in front. Goes for the risky line through the inside and is way out in front now. Levon only slightly behind him though. Yeah, Grenadi does unfortunately lose his quick pace there. And it looks like Levon will pick up a win on this one. Neodim also overtaking Grenadi there at the finish. So we can see some of the regulars, Thomas, Turris, Kip, Christian up there, as well as Pormal still kicking, currently in 14th place, better than the other Australian Winky Face who rage quit on the first map, so that is disappointing from that guy. Well, let's not worry about that, as we have big boy Gandhi coming in hot. Let's see how he'll go for round number 2 here. People looking like they're missing that first jump. I'm kind of surprised by that. A few people sliding off the sausage blocks at the top there. Who will go on the inside? Few people actually. Christian also getting it. Thomas, I think, did get it, but then bonked on the next section. So Gandhi getting a earlier drift there, which has helped him with the speed, but does unfortunately miss out on that final section, as we have a really tight battle between Turris and Levon there. And Gandhi picking up a 16th. So most people being able to finish here. Spatier a bit further behind. And King Tom giving up on the ground. So let's have a look at someone new this time. And how about a Nicholas? Gets a bit of a wider turn. But I appreciate those who maybe not competing for the top are still participating, hopefully enjoying themselves. So Nicholas gets the first section quite well after a bit of a slower start. Does have to slow down slightly for this middle section. Let's see if he can get this middle jump. Does get it really well actually, and gains quite a few positions as we see someone falling into the hole. Let's switch up to Kip a bit further up in front, as Grenadi gets a really good time there. Way out in front of Sven, as Shield, Spider, Zemus, and Paul to round off the next few positions. Wait, where's Hen? Cannot find him. Oh, he does still manage to finish, even with the respawns. So, bit of a shake-up for Turris there, dropping even more points on Grenadi now, which is not good. But he does have 200 points on the next player there. So move on to map number 8 or 9, I think. Thought it may have been a bit of a longer week here, but now that we've skipped those maps, it's probably going to be about as long as usual with these shorter maps. But we have heavy loading time here. Hopefully this is not too bad. Okay, it's a normal map. Don't know why it took so long. But we haven't got to my favorite map yet, so I hope that's at the very end. There's a good one coming up, ladies and gentlemen. You have to wait and see what that is going to be. I hope it's respawnable. It looked like it was just a flat map, so hopefully that's going to be respawnable. But anyway, we have a multi-style map here. And Levon has moved himself into 7th. That's really good from him. As Christian, I think, was also slightly late at the start and finding himself in 8th, which is good. So there is a ring respawn, which aren't good, but hopefully, as it's at the start, people can get it quite easily. So we do have some chicane poles to go through, and then a bit of a wide drift, follow through onto the dirt section. This is looking like a decent map, actually. One missing this with the respawn, unluckily. And then some final sections with a risky ring finish there to finish off. Zemus also finding it. I think we will have quite a few people opting for that risky line. So let's look at Zemus for this round here. So a decent multi-star map. I like the look of this so far. Let's see who will strive on it. Anyone picking up a bit of extra speed off the start. Neodym getting quite a nice line, as well as Grenadi. Grenadi with a really good chicane and gets himself into a first position. Zemus though doing really well. As Levon does unfortunately clip, does manage to get back on the track, which is good. As we find Zemus doing really well now, back into 5th nearly. And Shield with a really good dirt line there, but does drop down. Thomas also with a lot of speed. Let's see who opts for the finish. Risky finish, as Zemus nearly does make it. Does pick up a top 5. Shield as well with that really quick middle dirt section. Does really well to finish in top 5. But it is Grenadi way out in front, and Tourist still doing well, so very well, good driving from both of these two. 7 doing really well. And Cataboo in 4th place, sorry, and we will watch him for this second round. Oh, gets a bit of a wobbly line. That's really unlucky, and we'll drop all the way down to 30th probably. So let's switch it up to Neodym, which has been driving really consistently. Cornwall getting a slowdown, and we find Grenade and Tourist having the battle once again. These two cannot be separated. Tourist going for a risky line, but does drop on the next dirt section. Who gets it? The final part really well. It is Levon, but oh, he actually does get a second out of that. I didn't think it was enough. And 7 Tourist Neodym almost to round off the next few positions. That was a really good round. Grenade slightly ahead of the rest of the pack. As Hent misses the finish there, but doesn't respawn, so maybe he did finish it? I'm not sure. Did Hent finish there? I can't find him. So let's find out what Hent is doing. Gets us a later start, opting to say nope in chat. A few people slightly unjumping that first ring CP, so that's not good for him, as Hent does bonk into this next section. Speaking of bonks, we have a few further down, so let's go look at Justin here in 8th position and coming through hot with a better drift, but does have to release that. And once again, Grenade really striving on this map, and Levon I think is behind him, but is it enough? No, it isn't. 7 gets by 100th or 200th. And we have a beautiful battle the next few positions once again, with Thomas, Alex, Justin, Pizzle doing well, and Kip still up there, kicking in the top 10s. So a few people late there. If Hent didn't chat at start, I think Hent would have made it there. So I think that was the final round, and we move on to our next map. So we have a multi-star map, I think, again here. People are talking about this start though, which I can't see for some reason. Oh, here we go. So, is this going to be another impossible map? I'm gonna laugh if it is. But it looks like it's just a bit of a slower start. So let's watch Thomas here. Does Thomas find to make it? Opts for a left jump with only a few people getting it. And you can go straight, but a few people landing on the side there and it can make it. So I wonder what everyone's going to be doing. Let's try and find someone a bit further ahead. Everyone stuck at the start here. Zemus has found himself to a finish line. Has he found all the finish line? CPs, he has. So Zemus getting a bit of a bonus at starting that. Does opt for the PF start, which is not what you want. Looks at the bottom line there, so we have no idea what's going on in this map. Let's have a bit of an overview. So it looks like once you get past this first checkpoint, it's pretty easy. You go all the way around, get the wall ride to pick up a bit of speed, and then to the finish line. Or you can opt to go off straight away, but then you got the hill. Actually, I think that will be quicker. So it will be interesting to see what people go for. And I might keep the drone camera up here to see who works out the quickest. Or something a bit different. So a few people opting to reverse it. Lots of people opting for this press forward start and release. And then we have our players who opted for the left jump. Getting straight through now. Levon trying a wider line going on the top there, but I don't think that's a strat. And 7 picks up a win. Tourist, Thomas, GP, Justin, Agron, the quickest to learn how to do this map. As we don't see Grenade, I think he picked up a 9th or 10th there. Not too bad, still, but that is good points for Tourist and 7. Alex, though, really struggling, has found himself out of the start block finally, but will not be enough to finish this round. So that does move Neo and Thomas above them. So let's have a look at Thomas this time. Gets the jump really well and will find himself in 5th. Gets the drift really quick and gets the line. Who bonks? It is Levon, way over. Does manage to land still in the finish space, so will pick up a 6th there after trying the risky strat. Lots of people giving up on the grass there. As 7 once again picks up the 1st place, so well done to him. Big boy Garni getting it at the end. GP shouldn't have been doing doughies on the field as he does DNF. As we have a few people who crashed, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. This game isn't greatly optimized, so this is why Grenade wasn't in 1st there, because he didn't know that he could jump to the left side. So that's not good for him, but we do find Kip in 1st place. Turret gets a bit more speed though, but jumps over the finish line. That's not good for him, and I think he had to full respawn. I think he jumped over the finish. Levon, Paul, Shield, Kip, and Justin to round off the next few positions there. Tourist did have to respawn, as we see him only coming through right now. How did Grenade go? He only got 70 points as well. But this has been a really, really good round for 7, who has now found himself only 150-ish points behind Tourist. So lots of people complaining about that one. I personally didn't think it was that hard. And now we have our fantastic map. This is what I wanted to see. This is the one I was waiting for. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we live for. This is all we need in our life. Fantastic. Who is ready for this one? So let's have a look at Pommel to start this one off. So what will he choose to do? Will he choose to wall ride? Will he choose to break? This will be quite interesting, I think. A few people already going for break. I think that's a bit too early. You can use the wall bank, but Paul just sending it. And that is not the strat. And he will have to full respawn now. But still trying to commit. Not quite. And we see him respawn fully. So there is the fragile block there, which really doesn't help. Freewheeling and then no steer. So what will this do for the battle here? As Pommel's going to end up in a really bad position for this corner here and full slams himself and falls off. But does pick it up. So it is possible to do it full there. This is what I think we should just have 10 rounds of this map. This is what I want to be seeing in the Simply Cup every single week. So, a few people trying that full sending strat as Pormal is trying to work out what he did to... So I'm not even going to watch someone here. We're just going to watch this part of the track. This is what... I'm just loving this. So, a few people trying wallbang strats, but who's sending it? Now he does find himself out in first. That's really good for him, but is he going to line it up quite decently? He really is going to line it up. So this could be a nice world record for him with a really good booster. Oh no, who was that? GP falling out at the end there. Pormal picking up a second. Nicholas boom, and there's lots of people not getting a finish here. Zemus, all he needs to do is respawn. But they think they don't have enough time. Levon does manage to reach the ending there. Alex with good speed. And then a few unfortunate souls not making it. So I think Grenade has set his winning position here as Tourist unfortunately doesn't finish. 7, I think, is sick of my shit and is out of here. So let's see what Tourist does. Does opt for the wallbang. I think that's a good good strat. Goes really wide, but doesn't get the best of turns as we find Grenade once again just full sending it and connects to the wall, which is what you want. So he will get another first place here. Who is failing at the end? There is Pormal falling off. Timo also falling off, and then a few lost souls right at the end. Shield does make it though. Splatia does make it. Joe and Ali not getting it. Justin and Matap. Asgar and Alex for the second time does make it. Phew, this has changed the positions around by quite some time.
Catching a stream with my awful sleep schedule.
Welcome, Mr. Awful Sleep Schedule, as we get the drone camera finally with everyone playing. I like to see it. And let's see who gets it. I think that was Levon just saying, fuck this shit, I'm out, as we see him having to respawn. And now this camera is definitely whacked. So is Grenade going to get 3 out of 3, but does slam himself straight into the wall. And no one finishing now other than Justin. I thought not a single person was going to make it here. But Justin and Thomas just trying to do the full send strat. I do accidentally alt-tab there. And it is only a few people managing to finish here. Looks like Splatia with good speed. Hence, Shield. Oh shit, that was good. I like that one. That was that. I think that we should have more LoL maps in this competition. But it looks like we have a bit of a big brainer map here. So I tried getting a whole load of variety this week. So who has the big brains on? As we have a multi-style map here. But thank you, WebFreak, for the 8 months, mate. That's very kind. And the primer. Very much appreciated. Jeez, that was a fantastic map. I don't think the players enjoyed it as a lot of people rage quitting. But let's see if we have a bit of a better map now. Agron finding himself not crashing into the pole. Pormal doing quite well. But it is Thomas now out first. Does get the risky jump. I like to see it already opting for risky jumps. Alright, Agron finding the wall right here. Hopefully there is a route to the right there. So hopefully you can get that quite easily. Agron missing this jump, but that's fine. I think it was Levon falling off there. Seeing if the bottom route is quickest. Which by the time you do a wide length there could be, but I think you couldn't get back up. So I think at its core this map isn't too difficult once you learn it. Maybe other than this part. So I think this will be the defining point of the map. And as long as you don't fall off. I want to see if someone's going to full send it across here. I don't know if it's possible. But maybe if you get a wide jump, a wide turn, and then full send. I think this is what we will kind of see from Levon. So let's have a look at Levon here. putting absolutely no pressure on him to try the cut. As he gets big brain, there's 5 people with big brains. As I was talking about, we don't have, I think, a set place road here. I think Grenade respawned too early and has to go back to the start, if I'm seeing that correctly. Levon trying this dirt strat. Shield falling off there, unfortunately, as well as Thomas, I think it is, will have to fall off. So now all these guys need to do is do the chicane checkpoints, and they will have a simple first place. But Levon absolutely throws his first place, and might be Paul picking up first place. He does. The man, the myth, the legend, Paul getting a first there. I think he went for the normal route, but those big brainers all managing to fail somewhere. So quite a interesting map here. Who will learn that the back jump is quickest? Pummel did say he went for the cup. Good to see. So let's see how many people are going for the cut now. About 10 people or so, as a few people still opting for the safe route. So let's see who's going to be first. A few people getting the Neo Drift. Levon out in first. Grenade finding himself. Shield missing it completely. So the rest of the pack now finding it through. Cataboot is the front of the pack for them. But that is not what you want, because Levon has found the... Grenade gets the jump! This is what I was talking about. But has lost a little bit of speed. But I like the people who have gone for the risk. They're both pushing it towards the end. But it is Levon getting a first place there. Grenade still pretty decent round. Thomas, Real, Bosch, falling off the edge there, but still will be able to finish. Pommel still picking up a 4th, which is very valiant, as someone does hit there. I'm not sure what happened there, but it is Tourist not getting a finish. I'm not sure what happened to Tourist there. Maybe he got the respawn bug by respawning too early. So let's have a look at him for this round. People opting for the straight left jump doesn't seem to be quicker, and he might be able to get a auto slide there. Not an auto slide, an auto drift to round off this next session, as we do see Tourist out in first now. Will they go for the risky jump? Levon is opting for it. Where is the man himself? He does get the downhill perfectly. So Grenade is out of the picture, but it is Tourist who does have more speed, but crashes into the finish. That's a free win for Levon. Tourist is like, hey Levon, I'm just going to give you some more points to catch up to myself. There is a 300 points difference. I don't think it'll make too much of a difference, as we do see the rest of the field now finding themselves to the finish line. And really struggling so far this Simply Cup. But it is Pommel, I think, really getting some big boy points on that one, as well as Levon. And we now have a grass reactor map. I hope this one is respawnable. It's only a short map. So this is going to be a fantastic ending, as we see some red boosters and then some ring checkpoints. So Pommel complaining already, so let's have a look at him for this first round. Missing out on the smooth lines here. Does find the booster. Is it going to be faster? As he does find the reactor boost and will full send into the sky. Misses the reactor boost, which will keep him with extra speed. This is going to overjump him. Doesn't look like it, and he sends it straight in to the hoop. Who likes basketball? Good luck. So a nice short reactor lull map here. Let's see if Pommel jumps over the reactor reset block. He does. So Pommel getting this twice in a row, so it could be really good for him. Maybe let's have a look at Levon, what he's doing. Someone known to think outside the box with mini cuts and stuff. But let's see if opting for the booster or going straight for the red reactor on the uphill is quickest. Grenade getting a good start. Levon also opting a quick start. So, oh, they pick up the reactor really quickly because they notice it's the red one. Von having to release a bit there. And Grenadi finds himself out in first with a massive time. That was insanely quick. I think that was a near perfect round from him. Really, really well driven. As we see a few strollers coming at the end there, who is got their flight school on to the finish line. So, cool little map here. I like this. Bit different. As King Tom, the only one DNFing. So, let's have a look at the points. Grenade is 3.2k, Tourist 2.7, Levon 2.4, Thomas 2.3, Justin 2.3. They're both on 2.3.4 actually, which is very close. And then Cataboot 2.2. It's very cool little battles happening already. Grenade finding himself a little bit behind, getting a low jump. Is that going to be effective for him? I don't think so, as Levon Thomas does throw his first position there. I thought Thomas was going to have that in the bag, but does manage to fall off on the flight sim. And it will be Shield picking up a first, with Ali right behind, and Tourist only a couple thousandths behind Ali. Levon's still doing well, and Grenade still in 5th. I think someone are landing on the top of the finish as well. Prize money is on. I didn't announce that there was any prize money, because there isn't that many people this week. But let's have a look at Shield, who did really well last round, trying to get that bug slide really quickly. Tourist and, what was it, Thomas and Grenade getting it really well. Shield has a little bit more speed though. This is really good for him, but does find the red booster a little bit later than Grenade. Grenade does drop slightly too much, but does still pick up that first place. And we will have the rest of the gang with an insane amount of speed coming through. Nicholas struggling a bit on this one, as well as Douglas. And Gandhi, I think, reversed off into the sunlight. So we have the reactor map done, and I think we only have 1 or 2 more maps left. So we now have a bit of a full speed or speed fun map with a mapper which actually got a track of the day, which was quite a disappointing track of the day. I think it was Velt Mini 02, and this is Velt Mini 05. So who has their boosters on? Let's have a look at Mr. GB for this one. Everyone getting a bit of airtime there, so people will have to look for a no airtime strat. So there is a bit of a broken road, risky jump. GP doing very well on this warm-up. It's for the lower line there, but I have to release a bit. See if there's another risky jump here. There is. This map looks a lot better than the one we had for track of the day, I'll put that. And then we have a massive zoom. An absolutely amazing zoom to end off the map. So very short map here, but a few crucial places to make sure you're not wanting to crash, in terms of there, maybe in the middle section as well. And the transitional jumps, you don't want to roll your car, so definitely not a safe map. But hopefully everyone should be able to finish. As we're watching a map here, let's have a look at how he does for this round. 1 or 2 people crashing into the wall as Grenade tries the absolutely no airtime line. But as this base is based on maintaining your speed, I don't think it's going to help him there. By the end, we will find him. But it looks like Pormal is out in 5th there. Let's see how he's doing. The frontliners, as a few people roll, as I was talking about, Pormal picking up a lot of extra pace and does manage to snipe the finish off of Levon. So, literally, as I talked about, that roll on the transitions, you wanted to make sure to miss that. And Pormal does capitalize on that. Garni, Hent, and Poppy coming through the final time there. So let's have a look at Mr. Caribou for round number 2. Does he opt for a bit of a lower line? No, he doesn't. Levon actually trying it this time, and I think that has picked him up a little bit more speed, as we do see him coming through. Bernardi not trying it this time. And it will be, I'm not sure who fell off a bit on the side there. Caribou now wasting a little bit of time in that middle section, but look at the extra speed he's gained, and he's definitely going to get that smooth, but hits the pole. That is definitely not what you want, and we have an amazing battle for first there. Bernardi just sniping it off of Levon. If Xerox and Thomas, Hax, Turus, Zemus, and Alec to round off the next few positions. So Matt, I think, crashed at the start, so did have to respawn. And we have the final round now. Caribou with just the yep. Yep. Let's have a look at Wub Wub, see what he's doing a bit further down in the pack, but I appreciate playing for the whole time. Does get the jump quite well, finding himself 20th here, but goes really close there. I thought he would have crashed. We'll have to release here, unfortunately. So let's have a look at my boy Gandhi. Gains a little bit of extra speed off a few other places and could manage himself into 5th here, but does fall off slightly too far on the side. So let's have a look at Ali, as we do have a pretty decent round there from top players. So a beautiful one, good round there. I think this is a decent rounds map, actually. As Grenadi picks up another win yet again. How many points is he on now? 3.75k. That is quite a well-driven round for this week. So Turus, Levon, Thomas doing very well. And was that the last map? We have... Actually, there's definitely at least one more map, because there's a dirt map. And I'm wondering if it's this one. No, I think we have 2 more maps, actually. Because I remember adding a dirt map as well, because it has a lot of scenery. So I think we still have a little bit longer. But this is probably going to be one of the toughest ones here, as this is an full ice map. So let's see who is going to get there. Drifts really well. And we'll watch Levon going into the GPS. And going to the side. And going to the GPS again. Which isn't a bad idea, because then you can see how the author of the map has done the drifts correctly. So let's watch the GPS this time, which is a bit rare. Oh, look at that downhill. That's going to be tough to get right. And I think a few people will fall off here as well. Looks like a really good ice map though, but maybe quite a difficult one to learn quite quickly. This is me? Oh yeah, dude. I believe you. Acing it, man. As we see Justin, Caribou, and Thomas, the ones managing to make it to the finish. There is a safe finish at least. I was concerned that there's going to be only that ringed finish, and I would have had to skip this map. So, tough one. Tough map here. Good luck. Let's have a look at split tier for this one. As he does clip, unfortunately. Does manage to continue the drift as well, which is not what you want. So let's switch it up to Kip. Also falling off the drift there a little bit. So Zemus with the extra speed gets that downhill really well, which is good pace for him. Opts a bit of a safe line on that second ice, and he's really pushing it for this second section. Does manage to fall off the ice onto the snow there. So Levon is in second, drops to third there. Justin doing really well, and Ali really doing well on this one, but both of them falling off the edge, and it is Levon who said he was the GPS, missing the finish line. So Tourist, the only one opting for the safe finish first, and that will put him... Wait, he must have respawned. I think he must have clipped the worst place on the bottom there, and does have to respawn fully, which is unlucky for him. How did Granati do? He got 92 points in 7th. I just missed it on the leaderboard, as Thomas is struggling, but should be able to finish. It's good from him, a 21st. And we have Levon, Alex, King Tom getting through the top 3 on that round. So let's have a look at someone maybe a bit further behind. How about Popo here? Does unfortunately bong. I think this first section is really tough to get right. I think a bit further into the map it's a little bit easier, other than that uphill one. But Joe getting a really nice drift there. So it does find himself in 9th, but does bonk into the side, which is not good for him. How about Matt doing quite far behind? But Shield does find himself in 1st. Shield on a banger of a run here. As long as he doesn't fall off, can he get the speed boost off of the dirt? There is a bit of a bug slide kind of tactic which you can get from ice tires on dirt. But Shield with a very beautiful round, destroying the rest of the competition. Pummel doing really well. Big boy Gandhi in 3rd. That's very good for him. It's like what we like to see. And then a few people who got the jump very far, does overtake a few at the end. So Granati losing a few points on this one to Turos and Levon, but he's 500 points behind, so I don't think it'll matter. Let's have a look at Shield as people still crashing into the first checkpoint. Levon getting it really well as Shield. These are beautiful slides. Thomas as well. Wow, this is some fantastic driving from these 4. As well as Spider only just behind. Shield still drifting really well as Thomas falls out a bit there. It's unfortunate for him, as we saw the bug slide off the dirt I was talking about. Shield getting this part really well. Jeez, that was a really good slide, and finds himself way out in front now. As Mr. Shield played this map, he is just absolutely owning everyone. This is some beautiful display of some ice slides, and we'll get a beautiful time at managing to jump even over the tree. Nice time, man. That was really good run from him. Levon even on a decent run, but 5 seconds behind nearly Tourist. That's how fast Shield was ahead there. And this means a lot of people might get TNFs on this one, unfortunately. So we do only have 25 seconds of timeout. A few people falling off on that dirt uphill, which I was talking about. Hence struggling a little bit still. Cream behind also. As people not liking the ice there. We will have one more map, I think. I can never remember how many maps we have gone through. As we do have the dirt map now. So hopefully this is a decent one. As we do have a bit of a scenery map from Nereon, which has had a lot of track of the days. But we don't have any music, maybe? We just have my smooth, relaxing voice. So let's see what's on offer for this one as we go follow Mr. Shield once again. People crashing into the rocks. I hate that people put rocks so close on the maps. We will have a difficult looping there. People really struggle with that one, I think. But just got to make sure to go the lower jump and then roll all the way over. That's a bit of a bad design, as well as a transitional jump, which you can make, at least. But you see how much pull more gained by getting it smooth. So then one final downhill, I think, on drift to the finish line. So short map. Hopefully everyone can learn it quite quickly as Grenade is practicing the start. And this is how it is done. Does have to avoid the rocks, however, so something to look out for. So move on to round number 1. So let's have a look at Mr. Nazgraf here. Has a lot of people bonking into the rocks. Nazgraf opting for a break, which is good. Let's see if he can get this move. That should be enough speed. And it gets it really well, actually, as long as you can avoid all the rocks on the sides. Does find himself an 18th, so a lot of people gaining really well on this one, but lands right on the rocks, which is really unlucky for him. Let's have a look further out in front. All the top players struggling right now, other than Grenade. So it is a few new players up the top with Alex, GP, and Justin. So, got to get that looping really well to catch the second part of the map correct, as Gandhi now coming through hot, and a few people which will DNF. But most of the field managing to finish here. So we will have a look at Christian for round number 2. Gets the start really well, finds himself in 5th, goes for the lower jump, and this is a lot of speed from him as Levon is the only one in front, but nearly clips the rocks, not quite. So Shield, Tourist, Levon have a really good battle on our hands right here. This is a better round for everyone. Christian going for a bit of a lower jump, but then falls off at the end. That's really not great from him. Gennady also struggling a bit. So it is Levon and Tourist. Shield right behind. So probably a bit of Caster's Curse for that round. But we find the rest of the pack coming through now. Hopefully most people still being able to make that looping. But it looks like Timo struggling a little bit on this one. Let's have a look at Mr. Reol here. How is he doing on this one? Has picked up a few top 3s, so not too bad overall from him, as he does find himself in a 5th to start off here, but lose out a little bit of speed. Hopefully he gets this smooth though. And look at how many people overtook him actually, but gets a downhill smooth. Maybe could be better. This is a good round. Let's see who's going to win it. Thomas is out in front, but bonks the rock, which I was talking about, and Shield getting a 1st this time instead of a 3rd. So that's good from him. Tourist also still doing well. Nat and Reol getting a 5th there. Grenadi still getting 80 points, so nothing to complain about there. Levon struggling, I think, a little bit on this map. But Shield, with these last few good positions, has moved himself into 4th there with 3.3k points. Katabu on 3.3 flat. But is that the final map? Let's find out. So we have some heavy loading here. And it is the final map. I thought it may have been. And that will be a GG. Thank you for those who stuck to the end instead of rage quitting because of one bad map. So it will be Grenade with a very dominant performance. Well done to him. 4.26k. Tourist playing very well throughout. Only dropping a few times with a few mistakes on the shorter maps, I think it was. Levon in 3rd, who joined a bit late. Very good performance from him. Shield really striving on those final maps. Picking up 4th. Katabu 5th. And then the rest of the players to round off week number 5. So thank you very much for those who joined. A bit of a quieter one this week, but I enjoyed myself nonetheless. Remember, it is Saturday, 11 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time every week. There will be one in 3 weeks' time where I won't be able to host, but pretty much if you see me live, I will be doing this. So thanks for those who didn't rage quit once again, and I hope that everyone enjoyed playing and everyone enjoyed watching. Until next time, have a good one. Bye bye.